Welcome to the Quickstart webinar. We do this webinar every single Thursday at 1 o'clock sharp. Joseph, can you believe it? This is I think this is number 80. This is number 80, 80 weeks almost in a row of doing this Quickstart webinar every Thursday at 1 o'clock. That's pretty cool. So, Joseph Nagasa, happy 80th anniversary, weekly anniversary to me and you. Joseph Nagasa is part of the Private Money Club team. If you're on here for the first time, he's like my co-pilot. He's the Sherpa. He's guiding us through. If you guys have any questions at all about Private Money Club, logistics, anything, enrolling and creating your profile, taking a class, getting a membership with Private Money Club, Joseph is the guy to go to. He'll be putting his contact information in the chat box throughout the talk. If you have any questions about private money, anything that we're talking about here today, you can put them in the Q&A section. You can put them in the chat, but the chat box gets flowing. So I would probably ask my questions in the Q&A section just because I'll stop halfway through and at the end to answer all of the questions that are submitted as such. So, all right, cool. Let's go. All right, let me pull up my slides here. Welcome to week 80. Let me see. What do we got here? There's so much to cover. What do you guys want to talk about today? So if you're just hopping on for the first time, what we do on these calls is we focus on the fundamentals of private money lending on real estate deals. We focus on some of the best practices, fundamentals. Every single week we hop on and we talk about things like crafting your elevator pitches, how to present deals, how to leverage the PMC community, what documents do people need, all the fundamentals, all the basics. We hit this every single week so that when you do have a project that needs funding, you're sharp, right? You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, what do I say? What do I do? Like, hopefully you're taking what we're teaching every single week on this call and you're implementing it into your real estate investing business or your everyday life where you're practicing these things, right? You're practicing your elevator pitches, you're practicing explaining to people what your business model is. If you're a lender, it's the same thing. You're practicing, hey, what's my lending criteria? What documents do I need? What all of these things here, so that when the time is right, boom, right? We can take action, right? What's up, Mario? Oh, awesome. I love it. Mario, I'm so happy you're here. First time caller, be sitting in the back taking notes. All right, cool. Welcome, my friend. Is there anyone else that's on the webinar for the very first time? Just say hi in the chat box. Say hello. All right, cool. Jessica, awesome. I love it. Gene, all right, cool. Barry, what's up? Teresa, Michael, all right, I love it. I love it. If you've been here before, say hi to everyone. Say welcome. Say welcome to the new folks. Hey, if you are on this webinar and you've been on here, maybe you haven't been 80 times. There are some people whose names I recognize. It's got to be in the 70s, who have been on here consistently week after week after week. But if you're back, say, I'm back, baby. I'm back, baby. Awesome. Thanks for that, Patrick. Thanks for that, Anna. Awesome. Agnes and Chris, good people. Good people. I also see Jennifer Pertel's name in the chat box. And so I'm actually, Jen, Jen, I hope it's okay. I'm going to use our guest here, Jen Pertel, as a case study today because I was on privatemoneyclub.com and everything that I have been telling you guys to do on these calls here, Jen Pertel has been doing it. And she just posted a deal. She just has a deal. And so I'm going to is it okay if I use you as a case study, Jen? Is that okay? By the way, is there anyone on the call right now who has a deal and you need funding? You don't have the funding yet. Just type that's me in the chat box. Say I do, I do. Or maybe aspiring. Maybe you don't have one right now, but you will. You're out there making offers. It's what you do. It's what you're doing, and you probably will need a private lender here in the next couple of weeks or so. Awesome, awesome, Andre. Cool, Andre. Everything that I teach here on the webinar, I would recommend that if I had a deal, I would be doing the same exact stuff. All right, Jeanette, I love it. Same things. Looking for lenders. Mario, awesome. Take notes, Mario. You got the notepad out, sitting in the back. Now I am going to ask you to get up off the wall and take some action. All right, do a little. You got to start dancing a little bit and meet people. That's what it's all about. All right, so I'm going to give you some ideas and show you exactly what I would do. And that's if I had anything from a small single family home, rental property, all the way up to a nice $1.5 million property like Fred. These are the same exact steps that I would be taking if I was looking for lenders, right? And it's all about the relationships. Okay, so there's some things that we're going to talk about. I'll share this little checklist at the end of class here. As you post deals, as you build relationships, whether you're a borrower or a lender, these are some of the things that we want to make sure we're putting together when we're presenting deals and moving forward with deals. All right, so we'll talk about this little checklist at the end. We always do. Congrats, Anna, working on your third deal. I love it. I love it. Congratulations. I'm big on disclaimers. For everyone that's on this call right now for the first time, you're gonna learn this about me. If you've been on it before, you're gonna know I do my absolute best to make this sound difficult. I do my absolute best to make this sound hard. I don't think real estate is for the faint of heart. I think real estate is a great business. With great power comes great responsibility. This is a business of ups and downs, right? There's no deal is ever the same when it comes to real estate investing. And so, also from my lender's perspective, the loans that you do, the properties that you lend on, none of those are ever going to be identical. There's nothing cookie cutter about real estate. That's what makes it real estate. It's unique. Each piece of real estate is different. Each project is different. Each property has its own things that make it unique, right? Things that can go great, things that can go wrong. So on these calls here, what are we doing? Well, we're increasing everyone's education, right? If you don't know, you don't know. And so I try to expose as much as I can on these calls. And I'm a big believer in private lending. I've been investing in real estate for quite some time. I'm almost exclusive to private money lenders when it comes to my short-term fix and flips, wholesale deals, properties of 12 months or less types. And it's been like that for over 10 years. I love my private lenders. I'm really big on creating these win-win relationships. However, I do have a lot of friends that when it comes to private lending, they've lost money. And I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy teaching this class so much is because when my friends would come to me and say, "Hey, Noah, I lent money on a deal to this person here, and it was supposed to be 6 months, and it's been 18 months, and I haven't heard anything. What do I do?" My first questions are, "Well, did you get this document, and this document?" And they said, "No, I didn't know I needed any of those things." It's like, okay, well, did you ask this question, this question, this question, and this question? And they're like, "No, I didn't even know I should be asking these questions." I was like, "Well, what were you thinking?" And they're like, "Well, they said it was 15%. How could you go wrong?" Right? So there's a lot to learn. So I don't ever recommend someone just diving into becoming a lender without having some sort of education or help and thing. And that's what we do on these calls. That's what we do at Private Money Club. So whether you get an education through attending these weekly webinars, that's a fantastic start. But I tell you what, if there's opportunities where you can increase your knowledge base, you've probably heard this from other people out there. You should never be investing in things that you don't understand, right? So while this business is rewarding for borrowers and lenders, it can be risky. And if you want to be great at borrowing money, guys, and lending, you got to talk about the risks. If we want to be great borrowers, I would be explaining the risks to my lenders. Hey, and if I was a lender, I would be asking my borrower, "Hey, what are some of the things that I should be concerned about here? Hey, everything you're saying sounds fantastic, but what are you concerned about? Right? What could go wrong? What happens if you don't sell the house for what you think you're going to sell it for? What happens instead of 6 months, it being 8 months? What happens if you come into some unexpected renovation costs that you didn't have on your scope of work?" These are things that we should be asking, right? And as lenders, I would be looking for how my borrowers are answering those questions, right? So I don't mean to scare anybody. I mean, but it is Halloween. Halloween's coming up. So maybe it is okay to be a little scary, but I just want to keep it real. If you're okay with that, give me a big "oh yeah" in the chat box. Give me a big "oh yeah" in the chat box. Okay, so lots of folks on here just from that were in the chat box, they're like, "Hey, I need funding." My advice to you is, are you putting yourself in a position where you're in the right room, you're in front of the right people, and there's eyeballs on your deal? That's what, when it comes to private money lending, that's the biggest thing. For my real estate investors in the room here on this Zoom call, if I were to ask you, "Hey, how many offers do you need to make before you hear a yes?" Let me ask you, I'm going to ask you guys that question. How many offers do you need to make in your real estate business before you hear yes? Do you track this information? I mean, if you're treating it like a business and you're like, "Hey, I'm in the business of flipping houses. I'm in the business of buying rental properties." How many offers do you need to make mentally? Like, where do you set yourself? Okay, 100, 50, 100, right? Okay, cool. So they're coming in here. Now I know some of this 10, Aaron says, right? It might have like a nice little niche. Aaron might be working those probates, right? He might be working those tax liens. They also have a foreclosure. Like he might have it dialed in, his marketing. I like to go into this, the real estate investing business, knowing that my offers are so low that what I'm doing here is I know if all of my offers are being accepted, then that means I'm probably paying too much, right? You guys heard of that before? I know that I need to make, offers that keep me safe and keep my lender safe. I'm in the business to make money. So I'm looking for those motivated sellers, right? And in order to find that diamond in the rough, the needle in the haystack, my mentality is I got to make at least 100 offers before I hear that first yes. Now, that might not be the case. It might be 1 out of 10, like Steven says, but I'm never going to get frustrated hearing no because I know I'm one step closer. It's the same thing, you guys, for private money. So I teach a course for Private Money Club, and it's called the Accelerator Program. And one of the things that I've been harping on in the class, we just had a group graduated. We have another class that's starting here middle of October in a couple weeks. One of the things that I've been harping on with the class is if someone comes to me and they say, "No, I have a deal on Private Money Club, but I haven't. I have a property, but I talked to one person and they said no. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this done." And in my mind, I'm kind of I kind of like take a sigh and I kind of have to laugh at myself a little bit and be like, this person just said they talked to one person. One person said no. Okay, great. We need to go out and talk to 20, 30, 40, 50 more people. It's a numbers game. It's all about the relationships that you're building. That's what number 4 down there is. This is relationship based, right? How many dates are you going on before you find your one, right? The problem outside of Private Money Club is it's really tough to get in front of the right people, right? Like, so I could have the best real estate deal in the world. Fred could have the best, Mario could have the best real estate deal out there, right? He might have a home run, 6-figure profit, lots of equity, easy breezy, paint and carpet. I don't know, whatever makes a great deal to Mario. But if he could go, if Mario, you could go door to door, Mario, and you could knock on everyone's door and say, "Hey, how would you like to make a nice double-digit rate of return and have it secured by real estate that's worth much more?" Elevator pitch. You're probably going to get a lot of doors slammed in your face because you're not talking to the right folks. Okay, so what's cool about this community here with Private Money Club is that you're fishing in a pond where people are hungry for deals. That's what's exciting about this, right? And I'll show you guys what I mean. But when I say relationship based, it's all about the numbers. How many conversations are you having to find your people? And you might not need 10, 20, 30 lenders. You might just need one or two really good ones. And same thing for the lenders. You might not need 50 different connections with borrowers. You might just need a handful of people that you work with over and over and over and over again to help one another hit your goals. So I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think of when you hear the term private lender? What do you think of? Type it in the chat box. If we did a Google search for private lender, there'd probably be a million search results that pop up, right? But how do we know? I'm telling you, like, or let me see in the chat box here. What do you think of? What do you think of? Right? Not institutional, private citizens like myself. I like that, Brian. Yeah, a person, individual. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, they're secured, they're vested, individual, not a bank, right? The safety of community. Yeah, individual with money. An individual, the ease of funds. That's definitely can be a characteristic. So the individual, someone that has their own, someone or business that has their own personal experience. So the big thing here is we're talking people. All right, we're talking people. So if I were to Google private lender, you might see like different types of institutions, funds, things like this pop up. In the context of the Private Money Club, we're talking about a person. I'm talking about a Patrick. I'm talking about a Jason. I'm talking about an Aaron. I'm talking about a Sharon, right? A person that sees the value in making a loan and then doing it the right way, having that loan secured by the real estate and making a nice interest rate that maybe is better than what the banks are giving them, right? We're talking about people. Is there anyone on the call right now who knows someone who would make a great private money lender, but they don't know it yet? Is there anyone that's like, I know this person and yeah, okay, Aaron says yes, right? Anyone else on the call knows someone who'd make a great private money lender, but that person doesn't know it yet? It can be kind of frustrating, like if you have a great deal and that person has money, how do you communicate? How do you articulate that opportunity to that person? Right. And that's a lot of what we practice on these calls. It's a lot of what we practice inside of the private money club and inside the accelerator class as well. Right. Which is how do we articulate? How do we communicate? It's a science. It's a science. It can be an art, but I think it's a science too. Jen Pertel has it down to a science. I'm going to show you a case study here today of one of our fellow private money club members and Quickstart attendees who's on this call right now. Jennifer Pertel just posted a deal inside of Private Money Club. I'm going to share with you what she did so that you can go out there and do the same thing. And by the way, if I was a lender on this call right now, I would be messaging her after this webinar to set up a time to talk. I really would. Let's do a roll call here. This is Joseph and I's favorite part of the call here. If you're on the Zoom right now and you love the idea of putting your money to work and having it secured by real estate that's worth much more, let's just say you're a lender. Type lender in the chat box. Type lender in the chat box if that's you. All right, Teresa's in there. I like it. Patrick's in there. I love it. Brian does both. Beautiful. Where are my lenders at? It's usually about 50-50, right, Joseph? I know people are probably getting to their keyboards. Marsha, Jacob, Steve. All right, now they're coming in. Both. All right, cool. So we got about 89 people on the call, including Joseph and myself. So we've got some lenders on the call. I love to see it. Chime in whenever you can get a chance. Let it be known. If not, if you're like, hey, I don't want to, I don't want people messaging me here. That's okay. I'll show you how to get connected with folks here in a more private way. But if you, how about this? What's on the other side of the coin? The borrowers. If you love the idea of using a person instead of a bank to fund your real estate deals, type borrower in the chat box. Type borrower in the chat box. Let's see who's here. Right, borrower as well. Awesome. Love it. All right, cool. I love it. All right, cool. So yeah, it's all about finding your people, right? It's really and that's really what PMC is. And right now we need good borrowers. We really do. In Private Money Club, we need some we need more deals. We got lenders who are scooping stuff up. We need more deals. What am I talking about? I'll show you here in a minute. All right. Where else I would take a snapshot of this. If you need any help talking to those folks who would make great private money lenders but don't know it yet, this is a nice little one-liner to help grab people's attention, right? And if I was a lender, I would be talking to experienced real estate investors, and I would be transitioning them from using their own cash or hard money to using me, to using private lenders like myself, right? Where else can a real estate investor borrow all the money that they need to fund their real estate deals without having to go to a bank? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Where else can a person put money to work at a great interest rate and have that money secured by an asset that's potentially worth much more? What do you think? Yeah. I would screenshot these. These little one-liners have helped me get a lot of meetings with people, right? Absolutely. All right, so here we go. This is called the Quick Start webinar because our goal in this webinar is not only to educate, raise the bar within the private money community, but to also get people started, right? Get people moving in the right direction. So if I had a deal right now, or if I had money to lend and I was looking for real estate deals to fund, these are the 5 things that I would be doing right now. All right. So here's the first, and I'll show you. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up live. I'll do a demo. We'll see what's going on in Private Money Club. But number 1, I would highly recommend that every single person, all 87 people, 88 people that are on the call right now, I would have a Private Money Club profile. You can set up a Private Money Club profile for free. You can have a free PMC profile. There's also a Premier membership that comes with more bells and whistles and things that you can do, participate in, things like this. By the way, if you are a Premier member right now in Private Money Club, type Premier in the chat box. Who's a Premier member in PMC? Type Premier in the chat box. All right, I know Anna's for sure. Anna's also taking my accelerator class. Patrick, same. Jennifer. Oh, hey, Steve. What's up, Steve? Yeah, okay, cool. So they're coming in. I see you guys. If you don't have an account yet, go to privatemoneyclub.com. Joseph will put it in the chat box, and you can create a profile for free. right? Get the ball going. It's called the Quick Start webinar because we're getting things, we're moving down the tracks, all right? We're moving down the tracks. If you haven't got a profile yet, I'll show you exactly what to do, and I'll give you some tips, some recommendations, and things like this. That's the first step. Once you have a profile, you can then post. So for everyone on here that said, "Hey, I have a deal," go post about it. Go post it in the comments section. Hey, I've got a transaction. I've got a deal. Here's information about my team. And then go actually, there's a section where you can actually post your deal on the platform for lenders to go and look at. And they can easily reach out to you, connect, and then you go and you set up the meetings and you start building those relationships, right? That's how it's done, right? It's not you're not knocking on doors talking to people who don't know anything about private lending. You're in private money, the private money club. Everyone's getting educated. We have similar goals. Let's link up. Let's do business together. All right. Number three is I would present. Great question, Aaron. I see it, and I promise I'll answer that question. Remind me at the end or halfway through when I get to questions. I would love to answer that question. Number three, present. So Private Money Club gives you opportunities to present your deals to the community. I'll share with you an example of that here today. How do you get in front of people? That's the question. That's what we got to work on, right? Because it's one thing to have your profile. By the way, all of these things together, I believe, is what it takes. So if all you have is a profile, then you're not posting your deals and people don't know who you are, you're not active in the community, you're not participating, it's going to be tough. If all you're doing is posting a deal, but you're not on the webinars, on the Zooms, you're not like going to events and hanging out and like people know your name. Remember, this is relationship based. I know a lot of you because you're on these Zoom calls and you're on like our monthly calls and you've taken classes and I'm going to Orlando to the Money Tank event coming up. I'll see you there, right? So you got to start thinking, how can I build relationships? Stop focusing on the money and start focusing on the people. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. If you come into the community or even talk to anybody and all you're thinking about is I need that 1.5 million. I need that 1.5 million. I need that 1.5 million. It's gonna be tough. But if you come into the community and you're like, hey, I need to build relationships. I need to meet the right people. It's a different approach, and that runway is gonna help you take off a lot faster, right? Than just coming in thinking about the money. So profile, post, present, participate, all right? And then we're going to repeat. So you can post as many deals as you want as a premier member. If it's a free membership, I think it's one. I know it's less than three. Joseph could probably clarify that. That's a good question, Mark. Okay, so I'll actually have Joseph put in the chat box right now the link to privatemoneyclub.com. If you have any questions about enrollment or anything like that, you can connect with Joseph. He'll give you his cell phone number. You can just text him right there and you can set up a time to talk with them. Okay, so number one, profile. I'll show you mine. I'm going to show you Jennifer Pertel's profile here today. She's going to be our case study. But as you can see there, I've got my bio. I've got my little badges. That little orange envelope there shows that I am a premier member. So I'm like actually a person. I'm not just here, trying to figure, see if I'm, dipping my toe in the water, right? I'm a premier member. Okay. That little pink badge there shows that I've taken the time to take some of the free classes that PMC offers with premier memberships, such as the lender certification course, right? Through Private Money Club. So get the profile up and running. Everybody can create one for free. Get in there. That's mine. Go follow me. Go find me. Let's connect. And again, it's called the Quick Start webinar. It's not called the Eat a Turkey Sandwich and watch somebody talk about private money for 60 minutes webinar. Like, hopefully you guys are doing this stuff. Okay. Number two, if you've got a deal, post your deal. Get it posted. Get it up there. Right now, there's 27 deals posted on Private Money Club. That's low. We need more borrowers. We need more borrowers with good deals, good track records. So I'm telling you right now, how's a person ever gonna know if they don't if they don't try? I'm telling you to do these things here and be consistent with it. If I was a lender and my goal was to build relationships, to find my people that I'm comfortable lending with and working with, I would be on this deals page as well, checking out what's happening on a weekly basis to see if there's anyone new popping up that you haven't met yet, because there's people coming up new all the time, right? Oh, I was expecting a turkey sandwich, but not anymore. You can still make the turkey sandwich, okay? But as long as you are taking action while you're eating the sandwich, you're in the right place, okay? You're in the right place. I never want to deny anybody a food, especially, especially myself. All right. Number three, present the deal. Okay, present the deal. So you've got your deal posted. Think about this. You've got your profile set up. You've got the deal posted. Then within the community, every single Monday, one of the co-founders, Stephen Nagy, does this Zoom call with the members, and you can hop on and you can present your deals live on Zoom calls, which is pretty cool. It might be nerve-wracking the first couple times, but again, where else can someone, anytime that I've done this with my own personal real estate opportunities, it seems like there's between 75 to 125 people on these calls. Is that about right, guys? If you've been on here and you've presented, how many of you have presented on Money Club Monday before? Say I have. If you've presented on Money Club Monday before, I'm curious to see who has done it that's on these calls. Lots of times with the Quick Start webinar that we're doing right now, it's a lot of new people, right, learning about PMC and things like this. So I'm curious, how many of you have attended before? Maybe you didn't present, but you were a lender and you hopped on and you attended before. Yeah, it is great to learn from others. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you for that. All right, cool. So we got to present the deals, right? Here's an example of a deal that I presented a while back, right? Again, where else can you hop on and be in front of people, the right people that are actually interested in hearing what you have to say, right? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't know how to access the Money Club Monday call. Fred, are you a Premier member, Fred? I think it is for Premier members. And if you are a Premier member, then it's right inside of a private Money Club. Yeah, okay. So Joseph, message Fred, help him get into Money Club Monday, right? Brand new? Cool. I'll show you what to do, Fred. Don't worry. I got you. I'll show you what to do. All right, step number 4 is participate. Okay, you got to participate. We got to participate. So you can have the profile, but and it doesn't have to be every single webinar that this company does that you're there. It doesn't have to be every single live event that this company does. You're there. Now there's certainly those people, right? I try to hop on at least once a week to PMC. Every third Thursday, I try to make it. I do this every week, so I get to know 100 people's names every single week and recognize people. Whatever that might look like for you. Maybe it's doing Zooms. Maybe it's getting on an airplane and going to Orlando, Florida, November 7th and 8th, and actually being in the room with the PMC community, right? Through something called the Money Tank. This is an event that's coming up, but you got to take some sort of action where you're involved in classes, webinar. How else are you going to build those relationships, right? So I teach a course for Private Money Club. It's called the Accelerator class, and the Accelerator class is compiled of right around 20 people. I try to limit it to 20 folks per session. And in that class, it's usually like 60% lender, 40% borrower from what I've seen. And what's cool is the relationships that are made in those classes because you get to know one another, right? So participate in the courses, whether it's the accelerator class, whether it's my wife's mobile home investing course, whether it's hopping on as part of a Premier member. They do a mastermind every third Thursday, right? So you got to get your name out there to start building the relationships, right? And making the connections with people. Money Tank is a great way to do this. Joseph, I know Joseph can help you guys if you need a ticket to Money Tank. Joseph keeps promo codes in his desk drawer. So if you need a promo code, you want a discount on a ticket, Money Tank is fantastic. If I have time, I'll pull it up on the website, pull up the website here today to show you all the speakers and things like this. But if you are in the vicinity of Orlando or you got a direct flight from where you live to Orlando, November 7th and 8th, this is going to be a fantastic event. And I will be there as well in full participation mode. Hit me up for the promo code. Okay, there is promo codes. All right, Joseph. I was just kind of throwing you under the bus there. I didn't know you actually had some, which is awesome. Yeah, Teresa, connect with Joseph. He'll hook you up with a discount. All right. All the different things that you can participate in. Some of them as Premier members, some of them as free members, some of them are free classes, some of them you can pay to be there, but they're all fantastic, right? Monthly calls. Again, how are you going to build the relationships within the community? We can't just create the profile. It's like you gotta put, either attend these Zoom call. Like people gotta recognize your name, right? I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you some different ways to do this. One of the classes a person could take is my wife teaches a mobile home investing class. Anybody interested in mobile and manufactured homes? Or is that weird? Am I the only weirdo here that likes this stuff? Okay, you guys do? All right, cool. Yeah. So Christy, my wife's name is Christy Duckett Harris. Christy teaches a class where she teaches people how to buy, sell mobile manufactured homes, mobile home parks. So if you're weird like us and you're interested in something like this, Joseph can put the link, or yeah, Joseph can put the link in there. You can connect with Joseph, and he can help you enroll into this class. I think the next one is in November. Trying to get one more in before the new year, so we can hit the new year right. Some people look at the new year like winding down, or the end of the year as winding down. We look at the end of the year as ramping up. Like I would much rather be like my feet like in the blocks, with my hands on the like ready to take off down the track, January 1st, than being trying to like find my shoes. You know what I mean? Like I want to be ready to go January 1st. So that's why we chose to have this class in November with Christy so that you can take off January 1st ready to rock and roll with mobile and manufactured homes. I teach a class for PMC. I mentioned it 4 times already. I'll mention in a fifth. It's called the Accelerator Coaching Program, and this is for borrowers and lenders. I do see some alumni in here. If you've taken the Accelerator class with me before, just say hi in the chat box. Let folks know if you liked it. 5 stars. Let them know. But what I try to do on this call here is teach from the borrower's perspective and the lender's perspective, and we go for 4 weeks, twice a week for 4 weeks. And so what we found is there's a lot of people who come to the private money club and they've got a lot of experience in their field. They might be a dentist, they might be a doctor, they might be a CPA, they might be a teacher, they might whatever healthcare, whatever it might be, but they don't know about real estate. So it's like, gosh, I love the idea of Noah putting my money to work, having it secured by real estate, making double digit interest rate. That's appealing, but I don't know what a good deal looks like. I don't know what a good borrower looks like. I don't know what some of the red flags are. And so in this course here, we kind of collapse the time frames and help people learn as much as they can as fast as they can, right? So they can start doing this stuff with and feeling more confident about the decisions that they're making. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. I love thank you, Steve. I love it. I love it. Thanks, guys. Angie's expert, man. Expert. That means a lot coming from you guys, from Steve and Angie. Thank you. So if you are interested, folks, in any of these courses, classes, getting a premier membership, getting a free membership so you can get started, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pull it up right now so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. And we're gonna use Jen Pertel as a case study here. But the best thing I can recommend doing is scheduling what's called a blueprint call with the PMC team. So you just click on the link that Joseph puts in the chat. You go to the calendar, select the day that works for you. And they call it a blueprint because nobody is exactly the same. Like every single person has different goals. You guys saw it. Some of you are borrowers, some of you are lenders, some of you are new, some of you have $1 million deals that need funding. And Joseph and the team can kind of figure out, hey, this is what I'd be working on if I were you right now. This is what I would recommend doing if I were in your shoes right now. And there's nobody better to do it than these guys here, right? So you got to participate. And then number 5 is repeat. Okay, repeat. So you don't just stop, right? So for instance, like I'm going to share a case study here, Jen's. I'm going to show you PMC. Like my advice to someone who has a deal and if they just posted their deal is you post it once, great. Every single week I would be refreshing that thing. Every single week I'd have a goal. Okay, my goal, if my closing is October 31st, and I got to get my lender lined up. Okay, cool. My goal is every single week for the next 3 weeks, I want to have 10 relationships. I want to have 10 conversations with people that could potentially be a lender on this deal. Right, Jen? That's the goal. That's my goal. It's not to find the money, it's to find the people. I want to have 10 conversations with people every single week leading up to the closing date to help get this deal funded. That's the mindset, right? How do you do that? So this is PMC. Check it out. If you're hopping on for the first time and you're like, oh, okay, what is Private Money Club? This is Private Money Club. This is the platform. So I would come over here, I would create my profile, click on my profile, go to profile, and it's gonna pop up, boom. And here's some advice, here's some tips, okay? Now you can create a profile for free. You can be a premier member. We talked about this. I think the premier membership is like 160 bucks a month or something like that, or you get a discount if you do an annual. Well worth it. Way cheaper than paying hard money lenders. All those points and fees and having to do all the other stuff that they're asking you to do. So here's what I would recommend. Number one, I got the orange badge. There's classes that you can take to get that little pink one. Help your name stand out. Help your profile stand out. And by taking classes, especially the free ones that they provide, it's showing that you value education, right? And you're taking the time to learn how to do things the right way. It's going to ask you for a bio. So what I would do is I would put in there information about you, information about the types of deals that you do, what your niche is, how you protect your lenders, things like this. If you're like, Noah, I don't know what my niche is, I don't know what documents I would be using to protect my lenders, that's okay. Like, let's learn. Okay. Like, stick around the campfire a little longer, take a couple classes. Like, we're going to get it up and running, but you got to have something there. Okay. You can't just be a couple sentences and say, hi, I'm a borrower, and give me some money. Like, you're never going to get anywhere with that, right? You gotta, it's just like it's like the dating site, right? For borrowers and lenders. Like, you gotta talk about yourself a little bit. These photos here I like to use as billboards to share some of my past projects. I also have pictures of my slide deck in here of a meet the team slide, information about the market where I invest, right? You can come down here and you can people can review you, right? Here's a picture of my wife and my team and my real estate agent. And right, like, who are you? Who are you? You gotta, this is a relationship. But in the day and age when everything's like AI and you don't even know if you're talking to a robot or a real person, it's really important that you take the steps to actually show, like, hey, look, I'm a real person. This is who I am, and this is what my business does, right? All right, so I'm gonna click on these deals here. So I told you, what are the steps? Profile, post, participate. Wait, oh no, what are the steps? Repeat, profile, post, present, participate, repeat. Yeah, okay, I got it. I got it. I thought I was missing one there for a second. So I'm gonna come down here, and I love this here because Jen Pertel has a deal. And Jen, say hi in the chat box, if you will. Now, I've known Jen for a long time. This is why I'm kind of going above and beyond. I'm sharing this opportunity, and I'll never tell you to do a deal, you guys. I'll never say, hey, you should do this deal. But what I will tell you is if I know the person and they're a good investor and they might make a great borrower, I will say, hey, if you're a lender on the call, I would probably have a conversation with this person. And then you decide whether you want to move forward or not. Does that make sense? So Jen, say hi in the chat box so people know where you're at. Awesome, cool. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I'm going to share kind of like what you're doing here. So one of the things I saw that she did first off and foremost, let's click on the profile. So I see a deal. The very first thing that I'm going to do if I see a deal is I'm going to click on the profile. Wouldn't you? Right? Wouldn't you? So I can see that she's a premier member. I can see that she's been a member since 2022. So she's been around the campfire for a little while now. She's not just sticking her toe in the water or whatever, right? And so she's got a bio here. Jen was I was actually, it says right here. Wow, look at Jen name dropping. Fellow investors and friends, Noah Harris. Okay, Jen, I like it. I like it. Hey, not, it's totally true. Totally true. And then my wife was one of Jen's coaches, right? That's why she's so badass, right? So she's got information about her company, information about where she buys. She's talking about her niche. She's got her website there, right? So okay, the profile checks out. Okay, the profile checks out. I'm liking so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Okay, so now I'm gonna come over to the deal section. Let's go back and we'll revisit this deal. So if I was brand new and I had a deal, number one, you got to get your profile up. And by the way, guys, this isn't like, but by the time you could get all of this done in the amount of time that it might take to mow my lawn, you know what I'm saying? Like this isn't like a weeks and weeks and weeks of work. Like these things here, like if you attack it today, like or 30 minutes for the next couple of days, like easy breezy, right? It's not rocket science, right? These are things that anyone can do. So number one, create your profile. Then I would come over here and I would click post deal, type in the address of your deal, right? And then all that information, the basics, the name, the financials, images, pictures of the property or whatever, right? So Jen already did that. Let's come over here and click on this. So I love the headline here. You're our next PML. I like that. I like that with the arrows. Okay, the finger. Okay. And so she's got the property description. This is a side-by-side duplex. She's got all the information about it, information about the deal. I mean, this is very thorough. This is what it should look like. right? We can't be posting deals and then have no information about it. Like no one's going to want to fund that deal. Like that's going to really frustrate a lender. But the fact that Jen has taken the time to do this is pretty cool. This information down here is the minimum that PMC asks you to fill in, right? What's the loan amount? What's the repair cost? What's the ARV? Things like this. Okay. Now you can see Jen went above and beyond filling this out. And my guess is Jen went above and beyond because she already has that information. She's talking about her team. She's talking about the market. She's talking about why she loves the property, right? She's got links to her website. So I could click on this, I could pull this up. Okay, wow, Jen's got a website here. Like you can read up on her as a company before you have your phone call with her, before you have your meeting with her. Now, the slides, I like this, Jen. Great job here, right? So you've got this is your slide deck. So when Jen presents on Money Club Monday, these are probably some of the slides that she used in her presentation when she was sharing it live with the community on the Zoom call. So she's got comparable sales here. She talks about her and her partner Alexis, right? Their team, all the experience that they bring to the table. She's got a testimonial here, which is awesome. Like that's super cool. Like you need to. I love this. One of the things I'm doing in the accelerator class, I'm really telling my people is referrals. That needs to be added to the checklist. Referral. Jen's got a referral here. I'm sure whoever AH is would be more than willing to hop on the phone and verify this testimonial. I'm pretty sure that that would be the case, right? So she's got pictures of the exterior, pictures of the interior. She's done a super job. Now, if I wanted to learn more about this project, I could always double check by clicking on the map. Okay, yep, this property exists. Yep, I can look at the map. I can see, okay, there's no landfills, there's no juvenile detention centers next door, there's no, junkyards or whatever. Like, you can see that it's in a good neighborhood, right? And everything that she's saying is adding up. So when I see something like this and everything is adding up, and I'm looking at the borrower's work that they put in to just getting it on PMC, in my mind, that's telling me, okay, this is worth having a conversation with the person. If a person posts a deal on Private Money Club and they don't have the information put together, that is foreshadowing what it's probably going to be like working with them in the future. It's going to foreshadow what their management skills might be in regards to like getting that fix and flip finished and getting it to the finish line. Preparation breeds success, and you can tell that she's done a good job. So then I would come over here and I would click I'm interested. Hey Jen, I'm interested in your deal. I'd hit send, and then Jen would get a message right away. So if you're on Private Money Club right now, you are a member of PMC and you're a lender and you're like, man, I've got money. I just haven't found anybody to lend to. Well, it's the same thing. How many conversations have you been having with people? How many relationships have you built with investors? And if you're like, oh, I've had 5 phone calls, they didn't go that great. Okay, well, should be number 6. Okay, and I'm not saying do this deal, but I am saying let's get out there and meet people. All right, and this would be a great person to get on the phone with to learn about her and Alexis's business. In the Northeast, this looks like it could be something. Another thing that I love is that someone was asking about Money Club Monday. Okay, so here, remember I also said participate and post. So not only did she post in the deal section, she's also posting it on the feed. So she's got her lender testimonial posted on the feed. She said, hey, solid deal, ready for funding. She's got this posted in the feed. So when someone logs into Private Money Club, boom, they're hit with right away. It pops to the top. Different posts that she has here. If they go to the deal section, she's right there. I wish they had a counter on here of how many people have seen this. Maybe that's going to be my recommendation. You know how sometimes you can look at it says like, oh, 87 people have viewed this. Like that'd be cool if we could figure out a way to do that. But you guys are catching the vibe here, right? So if you have a deal, profile, post it, put it in the feed. You're fishing in the right pond. You're talking to the right people. You're not wasting your time trying to have conversations with folks who don't even know what private money lending is. You're in a community where this is all we do, right? So it's got that great social media vibe, but without all of the crap, right? It's all business, which is something that I like and I can totally respect, right? If you want to learn more, take courses and do, you can do that here. If you want to learn about the events that PMC has coming up, you can do that here. If you're just hopping in for the first time and you're like, I don't know anybody, I don't have any relationships set up yet, get in the member directory section and start, hey, this person's a lender. I'd love to get some time with him or her, right? Hey, here's my business model. This is what I do. I see that you're a lender on PMC. Would it be worth having a 10-minute phone conversation with me? What do you think? And I would start building the relationships that way, right, guys? So are these good ideas? Can you see, if those of you who are new to this quick start webinar, can you see yourself doing some of these things to help get some eyes on your projects? Yeah, absolutely. I actually thought of you, Anna, because I was like, Jen, have you talked to Anna? Like, I think this, I mean, you're on your third deal. Maybe you might be good for now and all set. But I was like, this might be good for those two to meet up. Okay, cool. Yeah. So like, again, it's all about the relationships. You know, how you gain them, how you build them. If you want to learn about the Money Tank event that's coming up, you can click the link here or click the link in the chat box there. But you know, it really, at the end of the day, it all starts with your profile. Okay, it all starts with getting the profile going, being a member. Okay. Let me go back to the slides real quick. Great job, Jen. Great job, Jen. When Jen presented on Money Club Monday, the video goes out to all of the members, and this is the video. I'll click play. So that there's her partner, Alexis. I think that was her. Maybe that was the person before Jen. And so all of this goes out. So if you miss the live session, you can hop on and actually review, okay, who spoke, what opportunities were presented on Money Club Mondays, what did I miss, so on and so forth, and you can kind of catch up. So it's really cool the amount of exposure a person can get on the club, which is awesome. So great job, Jen. Great work. All right, cool. Now, this is really important. This is the screenshot that I told you guys to take. I've been calling these non-negotiables. I'm willing to bet that as soon as someone messages Jen Pertel about setting up a phone call, if that person were to ask for more information about the deal, I'm willing to bet that Jen would probably have all of these boxes at the top here ready to send over if a lender were to request them. Is that right, Jen? I mean, I hate to put you on the spot here, but I'm guessing that based off of everything that you have on Private Money Club, that you're really well organized and you're ready. If a lender wanted to set up a call, you could give them all the information about the deal that they needed to be able to make a decision. Am I crazy for thinking that? Is that crazy talk? Okay. Yep. On a Google Drive, ready to share. Okay, cool. So, you should prep a drive. Yeah. So you probably did that, right? Okay, cool. So now this is the list. So if I was a lender on the call, these are the things that I would be asking for if it was me. And if I was a borrower on the call, these are the things that I would be putting together if it was me. All right. And in my opinion, for what it's worth, if people aren't doing these things, I wouldn't be doing business with them. Anytime someone's come to me and said, hey, a private money loan didn't go too well, I ask them, did you get this? I'm just going through this checklist. And they're like, shit, I didn't get any of that stuff. Sometimes, they didn't know what they didn't know. Right. So get the list. Okay. Number one at the top, presentation checklist, videos, pictures, right? She probably has a summary of what the deal is, acknowledging that it's an investment property and not a primary residence. It's a property that they're gonna rent out or fix and flip or do. She probably already has her title company, her attorney's information set up. She's got her comparable sales put together. She's got her tax information. She's got a scope of work of what they're going to be doing to the property. She probably has a contract of the property, that ready, a copy, so that she can show you, hey, we're actually buying it. Here's the information, right? And she probably has a copy of the slides that she could send you that she put together for the Money Club Monday call. Now, if the deal looks good, then you can go ahead and ask Jen, hey, Jen, can you tell me about your experience? Can you put together a quick little snapshot of the addresses of the houses that you flipped? I saw on one of her PowerPoint slides it said that she had done like nine. I might be misquoting, but I think it was like 9 fix and flips, a wholesale deal. She owns a small mobile home park, and she owns 2 short-term rentals. Was I right on that, Jen? So in my mind, if someone tells you on PMC, hey, this is what I've done, then all I want to do is I just want to get the addresses of those places to see if that's true. You'd be surprised how many people are out there. They act like they're amazing on Facebook. They're doing all of these deals, but really they suck as a real estate investor. They might be great marketers. They might be great at raising money, but they suck as a real estate investor. So their properties sit. They aren't getting worked on. They're falling behind. But on Facebook, they look like the world's greatest thing since sliced bread. How do you inspect that? How do you make sure you're not lending to someone that's full of crap? Ask them for their experience worksheet after you've talked to them. Hey, Bobby, tell me about all these deals. Tell me about your business. Oh yeah, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. Oh, that's fantastic. Sounds great. I think I want to move forward. Just need you to fill out this experience worksheet, a little spreadsheet of all the addresses of the houses that you just talked about. And then what are we doing as lenders? We're going back and we're looking on realtor.com, on Zillow. Okay, yeah, he did buy this house when he said he did. Oh, he did sell this house when it took 6 months. Okay, great. If you look at that experience worksheet and stuff's missing from what they were telling you, or you pull up the addresses and like they've owned the house for 3 years and it's supposed to be a fix and flip and a red flag, right? So you fall in love with the property, you fall in love with the borrower, and then once they get that stuff over to you, right? And you're like, okay, buyer checks out or borrower checks out, property checks out, cool. The things at the bottom are things that I would require in my business, or I would provide to a lender to make sure that we're doing things as much like the bank as possible. Mortgage or deed of trust, promissory note, personal guarantee paperwork, all done by real estate attorneys. Lender listed on the property insurance, I also provide lenders title insurance policies, right? Make sure we have those set up. Is this good stuff? Because I mean, look, profile is important. Posting is important. Presenting deals are important, but we also want to make sure that the people are doing their work, right? And they are who they say they are, and everything's matching up, right? So this isn't like an overnight thing. This doesn't happen in 20. This is why building the relationships and finding your people is so important. And Private Money Club is a great place to look, right? It's a great place to look. I just introduced you to one great borrower here today that'd definitely be worth having a conversation with, right? I'm willing to guess that she's doing all of these things, which is awesome. All right, what time we got? Let's see if we have time for some questions. I got a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, type them in the chat box. I see a few hands raised, but I think it's just participation hands. Oh, proof of funds letter. Yeah, that's great, Aaron. So what I would do, Aaron, is I would make as you start. It's kind of like the conversation of what came first, the chicken or the egg? Where can we find the blueprint page? You click on the link there, and they'll set up a time. It's the go.privatemoneyclub.com/blueprint, and you can click on the link there and select the time to talk to the team. What came first, the chicken or the egg? It's the same thing with real estate. What came first, the marketing, the making the offers, or the funding? So I think it was, yeah, what I would do, Aaron, is while you are looking out there, making offers, finding deals, at the same time, you're not waiting for one or the other. I would be building relationships, talking to people, getting my private money lenders lined up. Now, if I was new to real estate and I didn't have anybody ready to fund my deals, I would start with a hard money lending company. I would start with a hard money lender and for the proof of funds letter. Okay, Aaron. So I'll give you a couple one here. There's Lima 1 is one. CV3 Financial Services is one. There's a couple. There's probably some hard money lender brokers on this call right now, right? I would start with a hard money lending company. Have them give you a proof of funds letter. If you have a great real estate deal and you don't have a private lender lined up yet, but you can fund it with hard money. Maybe, it sucks. You got to maybe pay some more in fees. Maybe got to bring a down payment to the table, but you're still doing the deal. You don't want to like pass up on the opportunity. And then that's okay. Like when I first started the business, I used a lot of hard money lenders to fund our real estate deals until I had the private lender relationships. And then once I have had a track record of 12, 24 months or whatever of using hard money lenders, and I could show in a portfolio, hey, we did this house, we did this house, we did this house. It seemed like the private lenders were even more excited to work with us, right? And eventually we just kind of jumped from one to the other. So maybe you start with the hard money lenders when it comes to getting those proof of funds letters, right? As you build relationships with private lenders, a private lender can type you a letter, just like a bank could. So don't stop because you don't have one or the other. I would do both at the same time. I hope that was a good way of answering your question. How do I get a link to the Monday calls. If Fred, are you a member of Private Money Club? Did I already ask you that? If you are in Private Money Club, you can log in and Stephen Nagy posts it on Tuesday. You can click the link and then the replay is right there. So get in PMC, right? Aaron, do you work with newbies? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And what my advice to someone is, there anyone on the call that's like Aaron, maybe you're brand new to real estate? Just type me in the chat box if you're brand new. I'm gonna give you some really good advice, really good feedback. I don't know if I can say advice. Feedback. Okay, cool. Brian, Aurelia. Okay, so look, if I was a new real estate investor, the biggest thing that I would want to be focusing on is building my team. And when I say team, I'm not talking like about employees or anything like that. But in order to do a real estate transaction, let's just say it's a fix and flip, there's definitely some key players that you're going to have, right? You're going to have a real estate attorney or title company that does the closings, right? You're going to have a real estate agent that's maybe helping you buy the house, definitely helping you sell it, right? And you're using that person for their expertise of the market. You're using a licensed contractor to do the repairs, right? Maybe you have a home inspector that before you close on the property is going to crawl under the house, make sure there's no termites and all of this stuff, right? Every single person that you're going to hire to do that deal is a part of your team in my eyes, right? So now you might be brand new to the business, but if you pick the best attorney, the best contractor, the best real estate agent, the best home inspector, the best property management company, right? And then when I say best, if someone were to Google them, would good things pop up? Would anything pop up? Right? Do they have years of experience? Are they good people? Do they run a professional business? So that way, as you start talking to private lenders, you can say to them, "Hey, look, I might be brand new. For the last 10 years, I worked in the ER. I was a nurse in the ER. I did this, that, or the other. So I'm not experienced in real estate per se. However, but before even having these conversations with you, I went out and I got the best real estate attorney in my town. I got a great real estate agent. I've got an awesome contractor. I've got a great home inspector, so on and so forth. So while I might be brand new, my team has over 100 years of real estate investing experience. Honestly, Aaron, I would rather lend money to someone who's brand new, that's got a stellar team surrounding them, that's going to be dialed in, focused, on top of it, making sure that like they can drive their car to the property every day, inspect things after work, and then someone that's like, oh, we did 1,000 houses last year, and where you're just a number, if that makes sense, right? But you got to set up the team first, and you got to get the education, man. You got to book a call with Joseph, get on the calendar and say, hey, I need some help. I'm in Private Money Club, but I don't want to just join Private Money Club and not know what the hell I'm doing. I'd like to get a little education and things like that. Perfect. Team's in place. Beautiful. First step. First step. Right. Now we got to work on communicating. Right. How are you presenting your opportunities? How are you presenting the deals yourself? Right. Within the community. Right. That might be what I work on next. Right. Because even if you have 100 years of real estate investing experience, you're working with someone who doesn't know you yet. So it's your first time doing a deal with someone. So they still want to make sure that you are credible and that you can have that you've taken the time to set up the team. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But awesome. All right, guys. So here's what's gonna happen. Make a move. Okay, make a move. Let me pull. I didn't mean to close this out. Make a move. Here's what I would do. Okay, if you haven't done any of these, go do them. Okay, let's keep the momentum going. So if you're new, you're on the call, never been here before, awesome. Your step is to go create your Private Money Club profile. If you've got your profile set up, but maybe you're just kind of like stagnant a little bit, like I'm not really sure what I should be doing or working on, schedule a blueprint call with Joseph and the Private Money Club team, and they can nudge you in the right direction. If you're on the call, you've taken your blueprint call, you got your profile set up, do you have the badges next to your name showing that you've taken certain classes with inside of PMC? I would go and I would take those courses to help your profile stand out. They're online, they're virtual, on demand, it's easy breezy stuff. If you haven't taken, I teach a class called the Accelerator class. If you haven't signed up for the Accelerator or ever taken that class, go sign up for it. Totally worth it. I limit it to 20 people per session. And reason being is after our time together on the Zoom calls, I provide an additional 30 days of one-on-one coaching. Should anybody want a deal reviewed or anything like that. And I don't want to overwhelm myself. So I limit it to 20 people. If you're interested in the mobile and manufactured home investing course, Joseph can help you get out getting enrolled into that. And man, if you haven't attended a Money Take event, right? I got the shirt on. I got the shirt. I got the shirt to prove it. I've been there. Get to a Money Take event. The next one is in Orlando, November 7th and 8th. It's going to be a really, really good time. Nothing like being there in person. I think there might be virtual options as well where you can attend virtually. Joseph could probably help you out with that more than I could. But I will be there in person. So if you're curious about live events, right, that's a good one to start with for sure. For sure. All right, guys, I'm signing off. This was an excellent call. Jen, thank you so much for allowing me to use you and your deal as a case study. Um, and I hope everyone has a great week. Much success. And Steve, I'll see you in Orlando. I love it. It's telling me I need a code to set up a profile. Sharon says I need a code to set up a profile. Joseph, can you help Sharon out? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. All right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you next week. All right. Bye.